with that new intro. Hey guys, what's up? It's me, Samsler33, and welcome to Mix Up. And today we're going to be talking about one of the new decks emerging from the newest black and white that is coming out, Dragon Exalted, which of course is Darkrai Hydreigon. Now with the new black and white format coming out, it's just a great time for this deck to come into play. I think it's going to be a major contender. Probably be tearing up the tournaments because of course it has that stupid jerk Darkrai. So, without further ado, let's get to the deck of the day. I've talked about this deck a couple times in this show, but now I'm going to go a little more in depth. Basically use the ability of the new Hydreigon that's coming out, which is Dark Trance, that lets you move your dark energies around your Pokemon as much as you like each turn. And of course, what better dark Pokemon is there in this format than Darkrai, this stupid overpowered thing that beat me 5 times in Swissless Nationals. Anyway, not need to explain Darkrai, but anyway, this deck is actually really good. With the new blend energy that's coming out, it's very good room for techs. Hydreigon also has a decent attack himself. It's just a really great deck. You can use Max Potion to heal off your Pokemon. You move the energy off to your 160 damage Darkrai. Use Max Potion, heal all that off, and he's good as new. So it's very similar to Klinklang, but obviously it works better with Klinklang, and it doesn't auto-loss to Enhanced Hammer or Loss Remover, but that's not going to be around when this deck comes around. So now let's get on to a skeleton list that I've provided here. I think it's a pretty simple list. It's also, I think it's pretty solid. It has a 3-1-4 Hydreigon line. Now for what Dinos and Zweilius you should run, for Dino, I'd say the Dark one is preferable because you can use Dark Patch to, get the dark energy onto your Dino, then evolve to Hydreigon, and then move those energy to something else, so you don't have to have it in the active position. But the Dragon Dino does have its perks too. First of all, it doesn't have the fighting weakness that makes Dino easier to catch or KO, but it also does have a nicer attack. It says for 1 dark you flip a coin, and if heads, it's paralyzation. So that's a pretty good attack. But with the Dark Dino, I like having the ability to Dark Patch to it. You might want to run 1 or 2 of the Dragon one. I think it's more up to personal preference, but I prefer the Dark one. For the Zweilius, I think this is a little argument. You should pick the Dragon one. This Dragon one, by the way. It has a nice attack that lets you search your discard powerful 2 dark energy and attach them to Zweilius, which if you're attacking with the Zweilius anyway, you don't have any options. With the dark one, you probably have a pretty slow setup anyway, so dark patching won't really help you, but the extra 2 energy, for 1 energy, I'd say it's a better opportunity than being able to dark patch to him. And also, he doesn't have the fighting weakness. But the dragon weakness is also not very amazing either. And next for Darkrai's, 3 is obviously the best way to go. Just enough that you can use him as many times as you can, and not enough that makes you more likely to start with him. Now onto the trainers. We have 4 Catcher, that's obvious, 4 Dark Patch, which is your main acceleration. It's also one of the great things about this deck is that unlike Klinklang, its 2 biggest flaws were it auto-losses to Enhanced Hammer decks, or really any Hammer Time decks, and it has poor energy acceleration, but since you're using mostly Dark Energy, Dark Patch, of course, is going to be a great card. It also fixes your energy acceleration problem unless you use Zweilius' first attack, which I don't recommend unless you're in a pretty bad spot. The Dark Patch is definitely needed in this deck. And next is 4 Max Potion. This is your healing card for the game, just to heal off your fresh Darkrai's. Not much will be KOing Darkrai's in 1 hit because it has 180 HP, and 200 damage is what you need to knock out with the Eviolite. And the only things that can really do that are Terrakion and the new Rayquaza EX, which are both very good cards, but it doesn't matter because Max Potion can seal off those damage and deny the opponent 2 prizes. So Max Potion 4 is probably going to be best bet. Next, for the search cards, I just put item search at 5 because some people have different ways of doing the item search. Now, one reason I say item search instead of ball search is because Pokemon Communication is still a really great card in this format. Personally, I'd say some kind of balanced, something like 3 Ultra Ball and 2 Communication. A lot of people suggest Level Ball. I don't really like Level Ball in most decks that, can only search the basic that you use to set up with the card. But some people do like to just search out the basics. So if you like Level Ball, you can, incorporate it however many you want. I just personally don't like it in this deck. That's why I put it up to your decision. 3 Rare Candies. This is obviously required for any Stage 2 deck. Just gets it out so much faster, so much more great at doing what it does. Eviolite is of course an amazing card. It just does 20 less damage, which is amazing. It makes it a lot harder for Rayquaza EX and Terrakion to 1-hit KO you. Both their average damage outputs are 180 against Darkrai. So Eviolite is definitely a great card to have in this deck. And next for the draw supporters, I just put 12 because, again, since it's a new format, it's hard to decide what balance you should have. Personally, I like the balance of 3 Juniper, 3 N, 3 Bianca, and 3 Random Receiver, but you can change that to however you like. That's just the way I like to balance them out. And next for the energy, we have 8 Dark Energy and 4 Blend Energy, 0 RPD, which is Grass, Fire, Psychic, and Dark. The reason Fire is R is because Fighting is already F, so that Fire gets R. But anyway, that's just great. And card in this deck can allow you to use Hydreigon's attack, which is actually not bad. Does 140 damage to knock out Tracheans or Zekroms in one hit. And it's also great against those dragon types, so Blend Energy is definitely required at least 1 in this deck, if not 4. 3 might be a better decision if Enhanced Hammer and Hammer Time get popular, which they already are kind of popular. If they get popular enough that it could be a problem. So now let's get on to tech options. I put this one in text, but really it's almost required, and that is Sableye from Dark Explorers. Of course, since Junk Arm is gone, something like this that can get back 2 trainers is just amazing, and since you're already running Dark Pokemon, why not? Just a great card. Running 1 or 2 or even 3 would be a great idea, just to get back those trainers, especially since the deck abuses Dark Patches and Max Potions to their fullest extent, so Sableye, I definitely recommend putting this card in. I just put it in text because it's not required, it's just amazing. Next we have Sigilyph from the new Dragon set. Of course, it has a really nice ability that makes it resistant to any effects or damage from EX Pokemon, which of course is amazing. It's also great against Mewtwo because it has an attack that is good against Mewtwo. It makes it more powerful if Mewtwo is more powerful, kind of like Mewtwo itself, and it's also psychic. So it can kill Mewtwo with 4 energy already on it. And it's also just great to stall since this deck isn't amazingly fast. And next one on our list is Shaymin EX. Shaymin EX, of course, it's very easy to get into this deck because of the Blend Energy. It has Grass in its type, so that's one of the good things about Shaymin. It could also helps out your Trachean matchup since you don't have any great cards against Trachean. I mean, Hydreigon's okay, but it does sacrifice 2 energy. But with Shaymin, you can kill it in 1 hit. They've already taken a couple prizes. You can even knock out Trachean EX if you've only taken 2 prizes. That's a really great Pokemon right there, actually. Which is a great card to have in this deck. And next is Giratina EX. Now, I agree that Giratina EX is pretty pitiful in almost every way, but it does fit pretty well into this deck. It just has a simple attack cost of 3, 1 Grass, 1 Psychic, and 1 Colorless. It does 90 damage with Shred, and then bypasses all effects, so it can kill any Dragon type EXs in 1 hit. Of course, it also suffers from the same fate as the other Dragon types, being weak to Dragon type. Giratina also has the nice benefit of being able to knock out Sigilyph because its attack bypasses effects, and it can also hit Zekrom and Tracheon for 1-hit KO, but it does discard the top 3 cards of your deck. Hydreigon will probably just be the better decision to take out other Dragon types, but if you don't have the 4 energy required, then Giratina EX could be another option for that. And this next one, I mean, it seems kind of obvious right off the bat. I mean, it's Dark Pokemon, but I don't think it's very necessary. I mean, there aren't many things that need to do the extra damage, and that, of course, is Dark Claw. Dark Claw is, of course, a really great card to go with Dark types, but since it's, you need Eviolite to attach and Tool Scrappers around, Dark Claw might not be worth the extra 20 damage since Eviolite's just a better card, but, you should probably consider it when making the deck. So you can see from what I've told you so far is that this deck is probably going to be really good. So of course, it has a great attacker, it has great tanking ability, it has very versatile text, it has a lot of space in it. It's just a really great deck, and I think it's just going to be one of the best decks in the format. I mean, it does have its bad matchups. It actually probably has bad matchups to the other 2 best decks in the format, but I think it's still going to be better against everything else. It's just an amazing deck, and I'll definitely consider it once the new rotation comes around. So, thanks for watching today's episode. If you have any thoughts on the new Black and White on rotation, or anything that's coming out, or this video in general, leave a comment down below, and I'll be happy to reply if it's worth a reply. And sad to say, next week we will not have a mix-up episode again. I know I'm pretty busy in the summer, but I think that should be the last one before holidays come around. So next episode, which will be in 2 weeks from now, we'll be talking about a new dragon type that's coming out of Dragon Exalted, which pairs with a really great Stage 1 as well. It's actually one of the whole points of the deck is to get out as many of that Stage 1 as possible. Who's that again?
No, not you.